All right, guys, let's take a look at next week's meal planner starting on March 17th. And again, getting back to basics after our 2-week detox and cleanse masterclass, tried to put together a pretty simplified menu for you this week. And so here's the menu planner overview you can print out and put in your kitchen for a quick reference. But let's jump into the shopping list first off, and I'll go through some of the items and anything you can do. So for the fruits and veggies, we've got avocados, blackberries, lemon juice. I would just buy a couple of lemons and juice them myself. Lime juice, same deal, and raspberries. The blackberries and raspberries, feel free to grab them frozen. Like we said, that's on our dirty dozen list. So, or organic would be preferred on those. Breakfast, a little bit of maple syrup we're going to throw into our overnight oats. Always go with pure organic maple syrup. Don't buy the other stuff. The commercial ones are often full of corn syrup. A couple of rice cakes for our lunch. Curry powder, garlic powder, ground ginger. You could also use fresh in this application this week. So if you have fresh, use that. Otherwise, ground ginger is a nice spice to have in the cabinet. Some paprika, sea salt, and we'll use black pepper as well. Baby spinach, 1 head cauliflower. You can always go with frozen cauliflower if you want. Cilantro, garlic, mini potatoes, orange bell peppers, parsley, purple cabbage. You could go with purple cabbage. You could go with a slaw mix. You could go with rainbow slaw. Whatever is quick, easy, and convenient for you and add that cruciferous crunch. Some red onion and yellow potatoes. Now, I would go with either yellow potatoes or mini potatoes. I would only choose one and just get a big bag of them. And you can use them in both applications, as I'll mention, going through the meal planner. Basmati rice. I got rice on a couple of dishes today. You could go with basmati. You could go with plain white rice. You could go with jasmine. You could go with brown rice. You could go with quinoa. All of them will apply. Same with the black beans. You can use whatever you have on hand. A little bit of canned coconut milk. Some barley I threw as a different complex carbohydrate, an underused item, but is nice, filling, and fiber-rich, supporting our microbiome. Tomato puree. So this would be a can of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato puree, or you could even use some fresh tomatoes if that's what you have on hand. Tuna, veggie broth. You could use, again, bone broth, as we mentioned in our last 2 weeks, to support a little bit of glycine intake if you go with the bone broth. Oats and vanilla extract. Oats always going organic if possible. Chicken breast. And so the chicken breast is going to go on our Tuesday taco bowl. We could easily buy like a rotisserie chicken, and that'll make Tuesday night a real quick, and you just shred up the rotisserie chicken. Or sometimes they have like leftover already shredded chicken in that deli container. Buy the rotisserie chicken. That is a quick grab and go. You could turn Tuesday's dinner into a real quick one with that. Chicken thighs with skin, some feta cheese, salmon, shrimp, smoked salmon. I'm going to say smoked salmon is an optional item this week. We're going to put it in our breakfast bake or breakfast scramble. And then some steak. Love me some steak. If you're working on a budget, you could always just do up some ground beef as something a little cheaper. Capers, again, an optional item, but I think they really go great with 2 different salmon dishes. We're going to do them in the breakfast and in the Monday dinner. Cilantro, lime dressing, which I have a recipe for in here, and it's built into all the other ingredients you have there. Olive oil, sun-dried tomatoes, love sun-dried tomatoes. Whole grain mustard. You don't have to get whole grain mustard if you have yellow or Dijon in the cabinet. You can go ahead and you use that. But I like the bite and the little crunch that whole grain mustard provides. Some milk, and this is going to go in our overnight oats. So you could always just substitute in some protein powder mixed with water for that 1 cup. And that's the way I like to do it. Eggs and some plain unsweetened Greek yogurt. So as I mentioned, the cow's milk going in our overnight oats. That's where I usually skip the milk and I just go with some protein powder to boost the nutritional value of this and avoid what is typically a highly processed, full of antibiotics and hormones, cow's milk, if you're not getting organic grass-fed. So that's the overnight oats to start the week off quick and easy. And then, as I said, we have this smoked salmon and feta egg bake full of awesome flavors. Highly encourage you to go with this one. Again, if you're working with a budget, you can skip the smoked salmon portion of it. And if you want to just do it as a scramble rather than a bake, you can always do that quick and easy. But I got that for 3 meals. And even if you do it as a scramble, you could scramble the whole thing together, separate it out into 3 days of portions, and you're good to go. There's the cilantro lime dressing that I mentioned. Throw it all in a blender and hit go, and you got a nice dressing throughout the week. Here's the mustard and salmon that I mentioned. If you want to get a kickstart to the week, you can parboil your potatoes on Sunday to just have them ready to go, and that'll make this dish even quicker. But it's pretty easy. Sheet pan, throw it over some baby spinach. If you wanted to wilt your baby spinach, you could go that route. If you got a little extra cilantro lime dressing, you could also drizzle that on there. But the mustard caper mixture is going to be tasty. And so this is the one where I mentioned if you wanted to get a already cooked rotisserie chicken or shredded chicken from a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, that'll save you time. On this one, you could just cook your rice, throw it all together, and drizzle it with the cilantro lime dressing. That's what this is on the menu for. Full of awesome flavor there. It can be a really quick and easy kind of Taco Tuesday style dish. I'm excited for this one, the shrimp and bell pepper curry with rice. Something a little different than people are used to, where you're throwing a little curry powder and tomato and coconut milk all together, is going to create a nice mixture and full of flavor and antioxidants. And this is where I also mentioned we have a couple different types of rice mentioned, but just grab one and go with what is good for you. The one pan chicken and sun-dried tomato barley. I really encourage you to try this one and go for the barley. And like I said, vegetable broth, you could also use a bone broth if you like. Steak and cauliflower and potatoes. Simple, easy, and delicious. If you have some Montreal steak seasoning that we had in the previous menu planner, that goes good on there. If it's nice weather for you, as we're starting to get to spring, you can go ahead and throw her on the grill. So any questions, ask me in the community on any of these recipes. As always, you can tweak and modify as you see fit. Happy eating, guys, and looking forward to our next coaching call with you.